welcome to my channel. How are you doing this week? I've been doing well. I had a really rough week last week, and now it's a little bit better, so I feel a little relieved. And I was thinking just today, because I get a lot of messages in my other channel from people that actually want to start in a art career, and they kind of feel like they're not ready, they're really scared to start something. And I can see clearly how the reason why they don't move forward is because they care too much about other people's opinion. And in this channel, one of the topics that got this channel started was me going gray. And I have a lot of people that subscribe to the channel here because of that. And I also watch a lot of videos online about the subject. Before I decided to go gray, I watched a ton of video on it. And I saw a lot of comments in the bottom, and I still see it. So I wanted to bring that, same issue here in this channel as well, which is caring too much about what people think when the truth is nobody cares. And I'm sorry to say it like this, but it's so true. Nobody really cares. Seriously, nobody cares. Because if a person even cared about you, and you were going through a decision that truly only affects yourself, that person would support you, in whatever you're deciding. But that's what I think, But I understand, let's say my mom, for example, okay? When I decided to go gray, the first time that she saw my gray coming, she kind of reacted really strange. She was like, what are you doing? You are putting yourself down. What are you trying to do? But I understand her. It's because I change so much and I go through so many phases in my life that she's scared of what I'm gonna face because she's protective. But after she understood that this is something that I really wanted to do, she was for it. This is not really what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is, a lot of times we get caught in this idea that people are gonna have an opinion about what you do, okay? Maybe we do that because we would really want them to have an opinion. What I'm trying to say is, we want people to care. We want, our existence to be something of importance. And one of the clues that we get, in this life of our importance is whether people care about what you do, say, and etc., or not. And we often get really frustrated because we don't get that feedback. Because people are, in general, more interested in their own business, in their own lives, though they have opinions to give about other people, but most of the opinion they give is only talking about themselves, is really not even talking about the person. I find that to be true because if you think about it, every time that we even express an opinion, a lot of times we're only talking about ourselves. We're not really talking about whatever issue we're, having an idea about. After I started studying marketing, my life changed in a way that it was really funny because I've always been an artist, okay? So I've always been really connected to my feelings and expressing emotions and feeling things and living life fully so that I could, have more experiences and express that through art and everything. And I was kind of naive about how things work because when I started studying marketing, I started realizing that a lot of things that we do in marketing is, touching that trigger that triggers people to have a certain reaction. And that kind of changed my mind, changed my life, because once I realized that, I realized how much I have been having, ideas of consumption and everything, and how that was not even a true desire that I had. That desire was planted in my subconscious mind, you know, and it was done on purpose, you know, by people that do wonderfully their jobs of selling something to you. And so I go through this, you know, thought a lot, and I even, you know, use this because I want to sell, you know, my art and everything. But that kind of changed my perspective. You know, it became clear to me how our mind actually works, and how we are always center focused, and how a lot of times when we are consuming, we don't even realize that we're consuming what has been sold to us, and we think that it's an intrinsic feeling that we're, you know, expressing when you go out and buy something, but it was actually planted there. So, and it's funny because so you realize that the mind works. I started to really pay attention about how my mind works. So I really pay attention on when I'm gonna do something or say something or have an opinion on something. I know that I have been influenced by so many things around me that it's really hard for me to have a personal opinion on something, like to really think an issue through and then express my honest opinion on it, because it's so influenced all the time by, you know, whatever is around, by, you know, social media, marketing, TV, propaganda, television, you know, work, people, religion, and so on, politics, and, you know. So once you start thinking and realizing these things, you understand that it's not only really hard, you know, for you to understand what you think, but even harder, you know, for you to get out of yourself, and when you express an opinion on something or someone, to really care about that person. Because deep in our, you know, reptilian brain, we are just trying to survive and, you know, fulfill our most childish desires. So we're hardly ever we're expressing something that we're coming out of a place of really caring about the person and saying something that, you know, you really care. Except when you're like talking to your child, for an example, you love the child so much that, you know, all the time that you know, try to lead them, you know, in a way that you know that it will be best for them. You do it out of love, and you do it out of really caring, hopefully. But even that sometimes gets filtered by our own experiences, and we end up, you know, expressing to them a lot of our fears, you know, through that caring even, you know. So it's not even only a true caring only, it has a lot of fear happening. I can give an example. My daughter, she sings beautifully, and one of these days she was like, "Oh mom, how do I do to go to The Voice, you know, to participate in The Voice Kids?" And I was like, "Oh my God, no way," because I've been through all this and I know how it feels, and I know, you know, all the things that happens inside of a TV show like that. And I kind of was like, so you see, I care about her and I love her to death, you know, I want her to succeed in everything, but my fears interfered. And my husband had to even like point it out to me and say, "Hey, listen, you're letting your own experiences and fears, you know, interfere here." So this is what I'm saying. In the end, while we try, you know, to care, even if we try, there's a lot of us. We're usually talking about us. So once you realize that, you realize that when people see something you posted, or, you know, if you change your hair, or if you know, make a cover video and you post it online or whatever, and people see it and they express their opinion, or it's not really that big of a deal what they're expressing, because they don't really care. In the end, nobody cares. So I get this question a lot, like, oh, I don't think I should post it right now because, I'm not that confident and this and that. But one of the a big part of succeeding in my business is doing it, is actually learning through experience. So, that person that is really scared of what people are gonna think, of the first video, second video, or whatever, that person is only wasting their time, because people don't really care. And it's funny because if you post something and then after like 5-6 days you decide to delete it, nobody that liked that post will even notice that you deleted it. That's how important that post was. You know what I mean? So for instance, bringing this to the conversation of, having a gray hair and everything, I see a lot of comments in other people's videos saying, oh, I'm scared about what people will think and this and that. And, the truth is that when I decided to do this, I was insecure myself, and I asked a couple of people before doing it. And I cared about what they thought. But the truth is, it's not that I cared about what they thought about it. I cared that they cared, only to realize, again, nobody cares. Do you see what I'm saying? Nobody cares. So like, I, had this decision, showed up like this. A lot of people that, knew me was like, wow, you changed your hair. And that was it. After, 2 seconds of looking and realizing I'm with gray hair, the person didn't care anymore. Nobody cares. They're going on with their lives. And even people that expressed their opinion, a lot of times they were only talking about themselves. Even my mother. So even my mom, when she was kind of like, oh my gosh, she cares about me, of course. I'm her daughter. When she was expressing to me her concerns about me going gray and, oh, you're gonna appear older and this and that, she was only talking about her own fears. That's all she was talking about. Just like how when I said to my daughter, oh no, it's, that it's really a hard experience going through these TV shows, and they're not even fair lots of times. And, you're gonna get all stressed and this and that. I'm talking out of my own fears. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I was thinking about this, and I thought that it was important for me to share in this channel, since the purpose of this channel is to live purposefully. Because in order for you to really live your full capacity as a human being and live, purposefully, do things with intention. Because living with purpose is really just, doing things with intention. You have to realize, how, even your opinions are filtered through, old experiences and, through the interference of what's external. And you can't care so much about what other people will think, because that will kind of stop you from living what you want to live, So as long as you're conscious about what you're doing is all right with your values, you should go ahead and do it without, even caring about what other people are thinking, because the truth is they don't care. It's not that they don't care because you're not important. Sometimes they care about you in their lives because we're just really these selfish beings trying to change, people that are in this channel living purposefully. You're trying to change into a better person, but the reality is, even from when you're a little kid, we're selfish, and that's the whole entire thing. The whole entire journey is to become a little less selfish. So you just have to realize that this is common not to only you, but to everyone, And so you have to realize as well that, you have to stop thinking about what other people think, in order for you to experience what you want to go through in life. So I hope that I made sense. I'm sorry, excuse my English. You know, it's been a long time since I returned to Brazil. I returned to Brazil in 2020, and I don't really have a lot of people to, you know, talk in English and communicate. It's funny. I feel kind of like stuck because I understand everything, but sometimes when I want to express myself, it doesn't really come. So this channel is gonna help me a lot. If you like this video, leave your comments in the bottom, leave your like and share it with your friends, and I'll see you next week. Kisses, bye.